searching for a place where you belong? Where your fitness matters? Regardless of what shape you're in, St. Luke's Fitness and Sports Performance Centers have a professional team that will help you meet or exceed your fitness goals. With locations throughout the region and nationally recognized fitness experts, you'll become a member of a supportive fitness community. We call it Extraordinary Fitness. Visit us online to start your free 7-day membership and let us help you thrive.
Hall of Fame pitcher Steve Carlton knows what it takes to exceed expectations. He knows what it means to be part of a team that rises above the competition. He knows a champion. Steve Carlton knows St. Luke's Orthopedic Care.
Welcome to Dieruff High School, East Penn Conference basketball. We got a double dip. Al DiCarlo, Tommy Moser, D11sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. We got a 1 and 3 tip. Excited to have, the two games today and see chance of these two teams. And Allen Canaries 4-10, 7-14 overall. Stan Broyles in his 7th year. They beat Pottsville 41-28. They snapped a 4-game losing streak. Jacayla Wise, one of their go-to players inside.
Wise is a beast inside, averaging 11 points and 9 rebounds. She's going to do just about all of her damage in the paint, and Dieruff's going to have a very tough time containing her this afternoon.
Well, for the Dieruff Huskies, 1-13, 3-16 overall. Kathy Piston in her 7th year. She's in her 2nd stint as the head coach. She had previous 9 years as well. Jadalise Cardenella has been in the mix. She's coming back from an injury, and she'll be in the mix, maybe not 100%, but back little by little, and that's a key person they need back in the lineup.
Yeah, Cartagena is not going to start. She will get minutes because she has recently coming off of a concussion, and she's their leading scorer at almost 10 points per game and their best shooter at 23 threes. So Coach Piston and the Huskies are definitely going to need her contributions this afternoon.
You see the starting lineup there. Ellis, Wright, Abar, Toledo, and Wise. For Dieruff, it's Gomez, Rosa, Colazo, and Davis. Cartagena will not start. Instead, it will be Jalen Urena, who will get the starting bid for the Dieruff Huskies. But again, we expect to see Cartagena in the mix. She's averaging, almost 10 points, as you mentioned, and 23 3-pointers on the season. Again, the first of 2 here on D11sports.com. And if you were at it last night at Marks Hall, boy, did we have a great matchup between Pottsville and Blue Mountain. That was one that was, we say down to the wire, but it was a 17-point game at the end. It was fantastic.
Yeah, very strange 17-point game. You don't have those very often. That was a 2-point game with about 5 minutes left, and Mason Barnes, our D11 Sports Player of the Game, just took over, finished with 43. Just an outstanding individual effort against a very good and game Blue Mountain team yesterday.
Let's take a look at the keys to the game for both teams.
So for Allen, Coach Broyles defend a 3-point shot. He also expressed to us, not on the screen, he does say pass the ball well, plays the team. He's worried about Dieruff playing here on Senior Day in front of their fans on the road, and he's hoping that his girls can respond and be up to the challenge. For Dieruff and Coach Piston, she wants to shoot well for 4 quarters and control Jacayla Wise under the basket, as we talked about in our open. She is going to be a load inside for Dieruff to handle.
Get ready for the opening tip. Game 1 of 2. Again, the Allen boys, and we'll go after this contest, and a huge matchup for Dieruff because the boys' side, they need to win out. They're 8-11 to get into districts. They fell with a tough game against Bethlehem Catholic the other night. We'll talk about that as we get to that game. But these two teams did meet earlier in the year, and Allen won by the score of 60-33. So, we see what happens here. Again, it's a rivalry. You're in a different gym, and we'll see what happens as we get ready for the opening tip between these two teams.
Well, we're certainly hopeful that we get a more competitive game here. What they tell you is true. Throw the records out in rivalry games and anything can happen. That's what we're looking forward to right now.
Get ready for the opening tip. That one's controlled by Jaquela Wise, and we are underway here at Dieruff High School at Dick Schmidt Gymnasium. We'll move it around to Toledo. Had a good chance to talk to Stan Broyles yesterday on the phone and earlier as well. Nice lead pass inside the first two for Jaquela Wise.
Now it was all set up by Toledo's dribble penetration and looking for the big girl inside the entire time and found her. Nice touch inside by Wise early on.
Underway from Dieruff High School. Miscommunication by the Huskies, but a good job of Elena Gomez to regroup and get that ball back.
Coach Broyles and the Canaries out in a zone defense to start.
They'll send it to the wing, and then there's a turnover. Good job by Khalees Colazo.
Here's a look at the first possession, a drive by Toledo, and a nice little feathery pass inside, and Wise just puts it in.
2-0 is your score. They're leaving her open on the wing. Second opportunity there, and Colazo's going to make you pay. She buries her fifth three-pointer of the season.
So Coach Broyles in that 3-2 zone as we get a turnover, a steal by 11 Rosa. But Coach Broyles, one of his keys was defending the three-point line, but he's going to come out in that zone, and that's going to leave some open shots.
Gina Urena, her first basket of the game, and the Huskies have themselves a 5-2 advantage. This one from the outside doesn't go. Rebound underneath. They try to save it, and it goes right to Elena Gomez. Nice feed underneath, high off the glass, but won't drop for Deonna Davis.
Good look inside. Allen a little lackadaisical here to start defensively, and Dieruff capitalizing.
Destiny Davis, the freshman, checks into the contest. And Ashlyn Toledo will check out. 5-2 Dieruff here in the early going, about 2 minutes into the contest from Dieruff High School. That shot off the mark won't go for Wise as she tries to hit from the outside.
Well, if you're Coach Piston and Dieruff, you'll let Jaquela Wise take that shot because she's much more of a force in the paint.
Elsa Rosa just tried to drill a three-pointer from way behind the arc. And how about Destiny Davis right in the mix and right to the basket for two.
And as a coach, one thing you say often is if you take a bad shot at one end, something's going to happen on the other end as Rosa lets another one fly.
Well, scoreboard's wrong. It should be 5-4, and it says 7-2.
Scoreboard is wrong, but you and I here at D11sports.com are rarely wrong, and 5-4 is correct.
You're correct. Yeah, 5-4 is the game, the correction, and then we're going to get confused here looking forward.
That will probably be fixed at the next dead ball as Coach Broyles had just been alerted by his staff, and that will get fixed, and we're going to play on.
And a shot. Rosa with the basket.
So now a zone defense by Coach Piston and Dieruff here also.
So under 5 to play, opening quarter, and another steal. This one taken by Colazo, and Colazo goes in for the basket.
Very aggressive thus far has been Khalees Colazo as she's going to get the steal and the opportunity for an and one. We get a look at it here. Just good job pushing the dribble out front and finishing with contact. And Jaquela Wise, who took a quick seat a minute ago, is right back into the game for Allen.
So that was Colazo, the last 2 times down the floor.
Correct. She's been aggressive, and she's taken it to the Canaries here early.
So Colazo right now with 8 points, 10-4.
And this is what you were worried about if you were Coach Broyles. Dieruff in front of their home fans on senior day, getting off to a good start.
That's a 4th turnover already for Allen. On the baseline, the jumper, and that one's off the mark, doesn't go for Jalen Urena. From the corner, that one off the mark. It goes right into the hands of Elsa Rosa. And right now, Dieruff is getting space. Actually, they could have drove inside. That was a little bit harder than it needed to be for Collazo. (10-4) in favor of the Huskies. Here in the early going, we are at the midway point of quarter number 1.
As you mentioned a minute ago, Al, too many open looks for Dieruff thus far. Coach Broyles is going to have to get his girls to pick up their defensive intensity a little bit more than we're seeing in the early going.
And right now, if you're the Dieruff Huskies, concern was maybe them from the outside, but right now the biggest concern is going to be Allen offensively, turning the ball over.
Absolutely. They've been careless. They've taken a couple bad or rushed shots, and you're seeing why these two teams are both going to miss the postseason. A little careless play here early on.
5 turnovers. I want to thank Dave Stout, the athletic director here at Dieruff High School, for his hospitality, getting us all situated as we get ready for 2 games. 3011sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. On the baseline, whistle on a foul. They'll get Jakayla Wise.
Her first, Canary's second.
It's a careless foul by Wise. You need her on the floor if you're Coach Broyles. Just a lazy reach in there. You can't afford to get those.
That one just a straight turnover as the ball is brought up here by the Canaries. Much need of an opportunity here. That shot will not drop for Davis. Davis came off the bench about 3 minutes in and scored a quick basket. Right now the Huskies a little quicker than the Canaries down the floor.
Definitely more energized at this point. But great hustle play right there by Toledo.
And gets right back on defense. Does Rosa. So you're seeing the good signs for Kathy Piston. Again, she's been around, for a number of years. She's done a great job, manning this team. And from up top, the 3 will not drop for Toledo.
Well, you mentioned it, Al. Coach Piston told us in the open, very young squad. Usually starts 1 senior, only has 1 other senior on the roster. She's happy with where her feeder programs are, so she thinks the future is bright. And yes, they will miss the playoffs this year, but if you can pick up a win over your rival to end the year, that's going to set the tone for the offseason.
So Wise gets the shot inside to make it 10-6, but the Huskies still in favor after missing that shot. 0 for 4 from behind the arc for the Allen Canaries thus far. Here's Wise, and Wise gets double teamed. They'll go to the free throw line.
They're going to have to double team Jakayla Wise inside. You hear the staff for Allen. We're right down on the floor here, imploring the guards to give her the ball. Look inside, and here we go. She posts up hard. The double team comes just a little too aggressive. You need to get there and wall up instead of reaching around and picking up a foul.
That ball gets knocked away, and it's picked up by Urena. And I don't know how a foul was not called there.
Well, I also, Allen, we missed a situation where Allen had 6 players on the floor.
We saw that last night.
We did say that. I had not seen that for a long time. You pointed out we did have a technical last night, and the young lady was late getting off the floor as we get a replay of the block by Toledo. All ball, maybe a little body, but no call, and we'll stay here.
Was it?
We're going to go with what the officials called.
10-6, 2:12 on the clock. Trying to weave through traffic, and there's a quick whistle. Glad you could join us here on this Saturday afternoon, the 1st of February. Oh, happy February to you, Tom.
Wow, it is February. That means, what does that mean?
I don't know. Is there a leap year this year?
It is, so we have 29 days.
See? So that's what it means. It means we just got to talk about leap year a little bit. 10-6. What if your birthday was on leap year, by the way? You celebrate every 4 years? How does that work? Are you younger? Are you like,
Most people choose to celebrate it on the 21st of February and then also on March 1st, so you celebrate it twice.
Okay. On the 21st or the 28th?
28th of February and March 1st.
All right. So 2 times. So you're actually older, not younger.
Correct.
All right, back to the game. I don't like what you're saying.
You don't?
I like every 4 years you're younger. 10-6. Looking for first points in a while for either team. That one high off the window doesn't go. Wise. She gets backed away from the basket. Can't convert. 3 chances here for Allen. Fighting through traffic. That ball knocked away, and a good job defensively by Devona Sturdivant.
And that's going to be the second foul on Jacayla Wise, which highlights my point a minute ago when she got that careless reach in on the baseline. This one you can accept. It's a hustle play, a hustle foul going after a loose ball. But when you already have one and now you have 2 and we're still in the first quarter, that's going to present problems here for Stan Broyles and the Allen Canaries.
$1:30 on the clock. It remains 10-6. They've been sitting right in this range. It was a 10-4 game at the 4:37 mark. So while Dieruff is winning by 4, they haven't scored in almost 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, they've missed some opportunities to stretch this lead out. Just haven't had the shots fall. And we're going to see Wise take a seat for the remainder of the quarter.
So Wise checks out, and Shalaya Sneed check in. Thinking about it, and right now Collazo is the leading scorer. Another turnover, and that one taken away. Great job by the Huskies on the defense. That may have been a double dribble. 3 is up and down. Well, you come back from a concussion. Cartagena is back from injury, and she buries a 3. Good way to return.
And that's why we talked about her in the open. You see she was ready to shoot the ball, good form, and buries it to get Dieruff off of that 10 that they've been sitting on for a while.
Underneath, second effort, and that is good by Janiyah Staggers.
So the last couple sets down the floor now for Allen. They've been playing volleyball up at the rim, and that's going to have to be cleaned up by Dieruff.
That shot off the mark, down to 16 seconds on the clock. A whistle and a foul. And Tom, that's already the 15th foul, so it could be a long first half.
It could be a long first half. They're calling it a little tight here. Some reach-ins and some unnecessary fouling, but they are calling it a little tight. We'll see what happens if the coaches make some adjustments. Sometimes the officials need a quarter to adjust. But especially when you have 2 defenses playing zone, you don't expect 8 fouls in 1 quarter.
Now, this is a good opportunity here for the Canaries. Haven't played the quarter that they wished. Stan Broyles trying to regroup and get an opportunity here with 7.1 ticks on the clock.
They don't really seem to know well, that was an interesting set.
Yeah, there was plenty of time there, and decided to take it just inside half court. And 1 quarter complete here from Dieruff High School, and it's been all Dieruff. They lead by a score 13-8. Back after this, our D11sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine.
Are you searching for a place where you belong? Where your fitness matters? Regardless of what shape you're in, St. Luke's Fitness and Sports Performance Centers have a professional team that will help you meet or exceed your fitness goals. With locations throughout the region and nationally recognized fitness experts, you'll become a member of a supportive fitness community. We call it Extraordinary Fitness. Visit us online to start your free 7-day membership and let us help you thrive.
We are back here at Dieruff High School. 13-8 is your score after 1 quarter of play in favor of the Dieruff Huskies. And Tommy, your thoughts of the first quarter?
Well, so Allen really didn't get their half-court offense going. They have a couple transition buckets off of turnovers, and then a couple second-chance buckets inside. So they're going to need to get their half-court offense going. Let's see if they can do that with Wise on the bench with 2 fouls. If you're Coach Piston and Dieruff, first thing is you're really happy with the energy and the effort that your girls put out there on the floor. You made some shots, which always helps, but if you keep that effort up for the next 3 quarters, you're definitely going to have a shot to win this basketball game.
Underway, second quarter. Glad you could join us here on D11Sports.com. Game of the week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. Al DiCarlo, Tom Moser, Dave Micah, and Peter Capote from Allen. We'll hear from him a little bit later on. One of our 40 student reporters.
Up to 40 now, Al.
Up to 40.
Fantastic.
And on Monday night, we'll have a chance to be at Rockney Hall and see Northampton at Central Catholic Boys. Snead to the free throw line.
Central Catholic is on fire, Al. At least 10 wins in a row, if not more.
So Snead makes 1 of 2, 13-9. Cuts the lead to 4. Here come the Huskies. 3 from the corner. That is Cotton. Cartagena, 2 threes in a row. She's got 25.
And that was smooth from the corner. Good ball movement by the Huskies, and she just buried it.
I know Kathy Piston's happy to have Cartagena back in the mix. She says she'll see some minutes. Well, right now she's seeing some good minutes and producing. That 3, a little bit off the mark, but getting her own rebound is Shania Ellis. And a good block inside by Rosa.
You mentioned it. Great block and great help defense there by Rosa. And you also mentioned there's a difference between getting minutes and getting good minutes. And right now the minutes from Cartagena have been outstanding.
Again, boys game to follow. That one from 15 won't drop for Rosa. Another rebound here, and then a double dribble, so a turnover for the Huskies.
A little careless a couple times now, Allen, on rebounds or loose balls, not corralling them properly, and it's led to some turnovers.
16-9. Allen is still trying to find some rhythm, trying to go back door, but a great job of Rosa. So far, she's been a defensive catalyst. She saw that coming the whole time.
So Rosa pulled a Deion Sanders right there, Al. She
Good.
baited the offensive player into making the pass, knowing that she was going to step in front and steal it.
Kathy Piston talking to the officials.
She's not happy right now, is she?
Nice feed underneath, perfectly. 2 staggers and 1.
That's twice that Aslan Toledo has created a play with her dribble penetration and then a fantastic pass. Watch this. Dumps it off. Everyone in the gym thought she was going to take the shot. She did not. And that's 2 fouls on Elsa Rosa, who's had a major impact for Dieruff here in the first half.
Misses on the free throw. However, they cut into the lead. It's now a 5-point game at the 6-minute mark.
Great box out inside there by Sturdivant, clearing space out.
Couple opportunities down the floor in the last 2 or 3 possessions. We've seen some turnovers here for the Huskies. Biggest lead of the game was 7. It was 13-6. And it was also 16-9. So on 2 occasions, they have reached 7. That 3 doesn't go for Toledo. Dieruff doing a good job in transition and get some contact.
Get a look at the replay here. Cartagena pushing the ball up the floor, and we get the on the floor. We will not shoot.
That's a 16 foul already. Next one will put him on the line for a 1-and-1. That's a tough pass to put in there, and it's going to lead to another turnover. And making her way down the floor is Toledo. 1-on-2, the nice dish across. Maybe could have went up with herself, and just showing her unselfish play. 3 chances, that one won't go. 4th opportunity, count it and 1 for Sneed.
So 2 things right there that we've pointed out multiple times now is, one, the unselfishness, as you mentioned, of Aslan Toledo. She could have taken that herself, chose to dish off. You can see that young lady enjoys passing the basketball, which is a great trait to have. And then 3, if not 4 or 5 opportunities at the rim, and it's just too many to give a team. You can't win when you can't corral a defensive rebound.
Misses on the free throw. However, it's 16-13. And it'll be a 2-shot foul. It's also the 17th foul anyway. So the rest of the way, it'll be a 1-and-1 until they get to that 10.
Aslan Toledo, her second, team 7.
That's also 2 on Toledo. So fouls are piling up for the team, but also individually.
It's Khalees Colazo on the line. She gets 1 more shot.
Colazo with a good first quarter. She had 8. She now has 9 points on the afternoon.
You can see Coach Piston, one of her keys to the game and strategy is to push the ball up the floor. They're really trying to run and beat Allen down the floor, and it's worked.
Wide open look at a 3. That one will not go. Rebound underneath. They battle for it. Too far underneath the basket was Ellis. And that one knocked away. And going out of bounds.
Number 21, Amaya Williams, comes in for William Allen.
We're going to have Toledo take a seat with 2, and Coach Broyles has kept Wise on the bench with 2 all quarter. So,
wow. Maya Williams checks it into the game and just nailed her 5th three-pointer of the year, making an impact that fast.
that's the definition of instant offense right there. As you mentioned, she just checked in and
off the miss, no. Second effort. How about number 25, Shalia Sneed? She's got 5 points.
Sneed has to have at least 5 or 6 rebounds down on this offensive end alone.
We are tied at 18 after all that. Allen now with a chance to take the lead for the first time since 2-0, and they will. Maybe a timeout for Coach Piston. She'll get it.
Good call. Definite change of momentum here as we've had a few bad possessions on the offensive end, and then Allen just playing keep away on the offensive glass until they score. So definite need of a timeout there by Coach Piston. We get a look at the replay here. Davis inside. Easy bucket for Staggers.
Right now, Allen's on an 11-2 run. And the difference in the second quarter, 4 turnovers in this quarter alone for the Huskies.
So that's 4 possessions where they did not get a shot off. Even if you make just one of those or 2, it's 2, 3, 4 more points. The other major key right now is they're not able to get a rebound, and Allen's just simply shooting until they score. So in that sense, you're almost giving Allen points every time down the floor because you cannot corral a defensive rebound.
2018, glad you could join us here on D11sports.com. Our game of the week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. Al DiCarlo, Tom Moser, Dave Micah, Peter Capote from Allen. We'll have the boys game to follow, Allen and Dieruff, the rivalry game as well. Obviously, our D11 Sports student reporter position continues to fill as we're up to now 40 reporters in 19 schools. Feet underneath. And Allen now just on the attack. Running the floor well and scoring 2 more is Sneed. She's got 7.
So Wise has sat out the entire second quarter, but man, has Sneed picked up the slack of Wise being on the bench with an enormous quarter for Sneed.
13-2 run. Yep, all points by Shalia Sneed in this quarter. That one gets knocked away. Allen will regroup on the offense. That shot had a good look at it. Couldn't convert was Ellis, but they get the rebound, and Destiny Davis will regroup the offense. Hand in the face, and that one's going to be short, as Maya Williams thought she had the three.
It's dead center, just a little too deep and therefore short. But if you're Coach Piston and the Huskies, you've played a poor second quarter, and you're only down 4, so plenty of time to regroup.
22-18 is your score. And we get a whistle on a traveling call. Ellis still looking for her first points of the night. She's 0 for 6 from behind the arc.
And then A-bar in for Allen.
Down to 2:40 on the clock in the opening half of play. Allen trailed 13-8 after 1 quarter.
And a rare 3-second call negates a second made 3 by Maya Williams.
Big possession here for the Huskies. Haven't scored in a while. They scored the 4:20 mark. It's been almost 2 minutes. And they heard me. Cartagena's got 3 threes.
Well, good thing that she has been cleared medically, right? Because her 9 points have been vital in keeping Dieruff hanging around. And she is a confident young lady. No hesitation, catch, ready to shoot, fires, and it's pure, and she knows it when it releases out of her hand.
Trying to follow with the 3. Banks open. 3 is good for Destiny Davis.
Those are killers as a coach when you play a decent set and the shot is banked in. Unintentionally, they count, but you feel like you're maybe owed one.
Floater in the lane won't go for Cartagena. 1:40 on the clock. Right now, doing a good job on the boards is Allen.
So one thing to point out, Al, is if you are a guard, a perimeter player for Allen right now, you really don't mind throwing up threes, because if you miss, you know that over half the time you're going to grab the rebound and you're going to have a chance to score again.
25-21. You know, interesting because there's 1:15 on the clock. Thought that, the bonus was going to come into play, and it really hasn't yet.
It really hasn't, because both teams have settled for a lot of jump shots in this quarter, and maybe we had a little bit less reaching and the officials called it a little less tight. But when you're taking a lot of jump shots from the outside, you're not going to have as much contact inside, and that's why you're not seeing the amount of fouls pile up that we saw in the first quarter.
1:13 on the clock. Down to 105. Wide open and just can't handle that one. Where's Cartagena? But there was a good look there.
A little too much steam. Good idea, bad execution is what I always used to say. And those are the plays that Dieruff would like to have back. They've had a couple miscues like that, unforced turnovers, I would call them. And that's why they're going to regret some of those missed opportunities.
Down to 46 seconds on the clock. Thought about it, lost a handle. Now will go far side. Good defense here by the Huskies on this possession. There's a 3, hand in the face, doesn't go. Another rebound by Allen. That one won't go. And do they get over the top? They will. A great chance there by Staggers, but just couldn't convert. She's frustrated, but she's going to make that, 9 out of 10 times.
Well, that was a good move by Staggers. She has multiple offensive rebounds in this half, and she just could not finish that one. As you said, it was a good move. It just spun out, not for lack of effort, and the over-the-back is going to produce a 1-and-1 at the other end.
Yeah, we walk the floor now for that 1-and-1.
1-and-1.
There's a Husky in the building.
Yes, there is.
Mr. DiCarlo.
I see.
We have multiple Huskies on the floor, but an actual Husky.
2 for 7 from the free throw line this year for Gomez. And that one is no good on the 1-and-1, and Allen will have a chance to add to their lead here with 25 ticks on the clock.
See if they will hold for one. In the last 2 possessions now, Dieruff has missed 2 front ends of 1-and-1s, and that's 4 points you're leaving on the board. You just can't do that when you're the underdog at home in a rivalry game.
Final 10 seconds. They'll move it around with 6. And they will try to get a shot off. Do they ever? They do not. So the chances were there on a couple of occasions. 25-21, Allen. Did we get a technical foul team? We got a technical foul at the end of the quarter. That's the last thing you want if Coach Broyles to get a technical foul.
Quite a turn of events right here, as I think Staggers is more frustrated with her own play, and we are going to have a conference here at the scorers table, but it looks like the Huskies will go and shoot 2 technicals.
So they'll start the second half with the technical fouls to start the second half. So that's what's going to happen. So it'll be an interesting start to the second half because it was at the end of the buzzer. So 25-21 is your score at the half in favor of Allen. You're watching our D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. Back after this.
St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Extraordinary care in motion.
Are you searching for a place where you belong? Where your fitness matters? Regardless of what shape you're in, St. Luke's Fitness and Sports Performance Centers have a professional team that will help you meet or exceed your fitness goals. With locations throughout the region and nationally recognized fitness experts, you'll become a member of a supportive fitness community. We call it Extraordinary Fitness. Visit us online to start your free 7-day membership and let us help you thrive. Concussions are serious. 3 million sport, recreation, and auto accident-related concussions happen each year. 20% of high school athletes who play contact sports will suffer a concussion during the season. St. Luke's is the region's leader in assessing, managing, and treating concussions in athletes and non-athletes of all ages. Our multi-specialty teams of experts collaborate to care for you using the latest treatment options. Don't play head games, take concussion seriously. Call St. Luke's to schedule an appointment with one of our concussion experts.
Hall of Fame pitcher Steve Carlton knows what it takes to exceed expectations. He knows what it means to be part of a team that rises above the competition. He knows a champion. Steve Carlton knows St. Luke's Orthopedic Care.
We are back here at Dieruff High School. Take a look at some highlights earlier, from the first half. And obviously, a little spark, was given there by Destiny Davis. That's when she checked right into the contest, in this matchup. But, you look at the Huskies for the most part in kind of what they were doing. In the first quarter, they were definitely the aggressor.
Absolutely. They came out ready to play. It was senior day. They're going to honor the 2 seniors they have and represent Husky pride. And they definitely took it to Allen early on. It took the Canaries a quarter to wake up. Once they did, they kind of restored order. But the first quarter was a bright spot for Coach Piston.
Your thoughts of Cartagena and how she played, coming back from the injury as you take a look at some more highlights.
Well, you certainly could not tell that she is off a concussion. She did, and you can, I guess, in a sense, unfortunately, see how she got a concussion. She was all over the floor after loose balls, throwing her body all over the place. But her stroke is very smooth. She did miss one, but she buried 3 threes, and she just missed a floater inside. So she is going to be who Dieruff looks to in the second half for more offense.
Dieruff shooting 7 of 20 from the field, 4 of 9 from behind the arc, and 2 of 5 from the free throw line. Allen 10 of 33, 2 of 15 from behind the arc, 2 of 15 from behind the arc, and 1 of 4 from the free throw line. Obviously, that's going to have to change when it comes into the third quarter. Individual scoring right now, Cartagena has those 3 threes. She's got 9, 10 points for Collazo and 2 points for Urena. For the Allen Canaries, 6 for Staggers. Davis has 5, 3 points for Maya Williams on that 3, 7 points for Sneed. She did a great job, and then Wise has the 4. So Wise had the foul trouble, but Sneed picked up the duty.
Well, so it's funny, Coach Piston's key to the game was we have to find a way to stop Jacayla Wise. Coach Broyles talked about Coach Wise, and we highlighted her in our open. It has been the supporting cast of the Allen Canaries that have given them the lead. Everyone has chipped in. Toledo's made nice plays. Sneed, as you mentioned, putting up monster numbers off the bench, points and rebounds. And we also had some good play off the bench by Staggers and Davis.
Again, we mentioned this is first of 2 games. First, take a look at the standings. When it comes to East Penn Conference girls action, Nazareth getting the win against Northampton. Interesting because we did the game the other night, Parkland, Northampton. Northampton got the victory. They jumped over Parkland in that skyline. But, when you look at the division, you look at the division records first to get you in the East Penn Conference playoffs, which, by the way, will be played at the PPL Center. But after that, then you look at the league. So Northampton will jump Parkland depending on what happens. But, for the most part, though, you look at Stroudsburg and Pocono Mountain West still battling in the mountain. Bethlehem Catholic's having a tremendous year. We mentioned it, the way they've been playing. And, Nazareth, Parkland, Northampton, Easton obviously, playing well as well. So it should be an interesting tournament as they announced yesterday that they will be playing the tournament at the PPL Center.
Yeah, very exciting for the boys and girls once you reach the semifinals to be able to play at the PPNL Center in the finals as well. But, if you're Allen, it's just unfortunate you're stuck in this division here with Bethlehem Catholic, Freedom, and Easton, 3 of the top teams. You're going to play those teams 6 times, and that's why you're sitting at 3 and 5 in the division there. It's just going to be tough, when you have those teams in your division to get over that 500 mark and qualify for districts.
Well, 19 turnovers total, 10 for Allen, 9 for Dieruff coming in. I hope you're enjoying our coverage of our D11sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. Al DiCarlo, Tom Moser with you from Dieruff. Again, the boys' game to follow. Allen's at 16-4, Dieruff's at 8-11, and they need to win out under head coach Joe Jarjuice to see if they can get into the postseason. They have to knock off, their rival, to keep that possibility alive. But Allen playing well, defending champs, in the district, and just a great job there. And interesting where we go. We'll take a break. We'll come back, and then we'll get you ready for quarter number 3, where you're watching our D11sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. Back after this.
Are you searching for a place where you belong? Where your fitness matters? Regardless of what shape you're in, St. Luke's Fitness and Sports Performance Centers have a professional team that will help you meet or exceed your fitness goals. With locations throughout the region and nationally recognized fitness experts, you'll become a member of a supportive fitness community. We call it Extraordinary Fitness. Visit us online to start your free 7-day membership and let us help you thrive.
St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Extraordinary care in motion.
Hall of Fame pitcher Steve Carlton knows what it takes to exceed expectations. He knows what it means to be part of a team that rises above the competition. He knows a champion. Steve Carlton knows St. Luke's Orthopedic Care.
We are back here in 25-21, a tale of two quarters, I would say. Dieruff takes the first, and then on the other side, Allen takes the second, and they lead here by 4 points. You look at Allen, they're coming off the victory against Pottsville 41-28 that snapped a 4-game losing streak, for them. So obviously they wanted to have that opportunity to get that.
As you were mentioning, Hal, they definitely good to get a win, and if they can finish with one today against Dieruff, they do finish their season with Bethlehem Catholic, which will be a difficult game to finish. But they did get that victory over Pottsville. If they can get 2 in a row back-to-back here, may help the girls out moving forward in the offseason as they get close but fall a little short of a District 11 playoff berth. On the other side of the coin, Dieruff and Coach Piston just looking to build some momentum as they head into next season. Ready to start the third quarter here.
So we're back here and get ready for the start of the third quarter. And interesting, as we left you, Tom, there was a technical foul at the end of the first half, and because of that technical foul, they'll shoot it here.
Well, not something you see every game, so Allen will start this third quarter with a team foul. So they will have a team foul. Dieruff will shoot 2 and get the ball to start the third quarter. So an opportunity for some early offense and momentum with the clock stopped because of the incident at the end of the first half.
So to the free throw line again for the technical foul will be Colazzo. And she makes it. And these are key. You come out of the locker room, and the first thing you're doing is shooting. And Colazzo's done a good job. So we'll add those 2 to the third quarter, obviously.
Yeah.
And she's got 12 points.
I mean, she might have wanted those 2 in the first half to say she had 12 in the first half, but nonetheless, they count as 2, and it's a good start here in the second half for Dieruff.
So 25-23 is your score.
So Cartagena is going to start the third quarter here after not starting the game, and it looks like Coach Broyles almost in a box-and-one defense defending Cartagena, figuring that she is the only player that will be able to beat his Allen Canaries, but a great set to start the third quarter.
So Deonna Davis ties the game up at 25-25. Here's a 3 from the outside. That one won't go. Ball loose underneath.
So Wise back into the game here to start the third quarter for Allen after sitting the entire second quarter. Let's see if that affects her at all.
From the outside, 3 won't drop. Ball loose. High off the window. No good.
That's going to be an issue for Dieruff, as that's the third foul on Colazzo, who has played very well thus far. She's going to need to nurse those minutes because they need her on the floor.
Makes the first free throw. And the second for Ellis, so she's on the scoreboard. Allen back on top by a score of 27-25. In the lane. And Dieruff coming out of the gate a little a little slow here in the third quarter. That said, they continue to battle, but the second chance opportunity so far has been tremendous. There's a three from Wise saying, hey, I took it earlier, and Tom Moser said I shouldn't have taken it, but I'm going to take it now.
I think our papers work, Mr. DiCarlo, will indicate that is her first made three of the season.
I believe that's correct, as we got those numbers. And it's 30-25 in favor of Allen. Your thoughts here, early part of the third quarter after seeing that?
Well, Wise did not like sitting the entire first half, and as you said, she fired it up. It did look good, but so as I mentioned, it looks like Coach Broyles is in that box and one trying to take Cartagena away. So let's see what Coach Piston and her staff can come up with to run offensively against that box and one. That's going to be key. They did get 4 early points, 2 off of the technical free throws, and then their early set. So they're going to need to respond offensively as Allen continues, you mentioned, couple offensive rebounds. They're just playing volleyball up there on the glass again, so they're going to need to clean that up.
30-25, Doug Snyder in the house. Talking to our student reporter and Peter Capote. We'll hear from Peter at the end of the game. 30-25, your score.
So he has assigned Denia Wright, number 2, with the task of shadowing Cartagena all over the floor, not letting her even get the ball.
Ellis, and then they lose the handle down below. We get a jump ball. Possession arrow will go to the Huskies.
It's another byproduct of that technical foul because that should have been an Allen possession, but the possession at the start of the half went to Dieruff because of the technical foul. So
that comes into play.
So now they're in a box defense because Cartagena's out front.
That was a great look at a three, just off the mark by Urena. It remains a 5-point game in favor of Allen, excuse me. Lost the voice there for a second. Inside feed to Abar. Her first 2 of the night.
Another assist by Toledo, probably her 4th of the half. She has a very nice touch. She passes the ball extremely well.
That 3 off the mark. Wise with another rebound. That shot won't fall on the near side to right. And here come the Huskies the other way. Nice feed underneath, and that is going to be a foul here on Wise. And a costly foul still with 5 minutes left in the third quarter.
Let's see what Coach Broyles does here. He got productive minutes off the bench from Sneed in the first half when Wise was on the bench. As we get a look, the nice feed, you called it, Urena inside to Davis. And at this point, no movement from Coach Broyles. Wise will stay out there with those 3.
Davis can't connect on the free throw. She's at 45% on the season, 17 of 38. Couple changes in the lineup for the Huskies.
So Cartagena has now come off the floor, and we'll see what Broyles does with his defense, as you cannot box and one a player who is on the bench, Al.
32-26, Allen on top. Just inside 5 to play in the third quarter. Again, 2 games to be played. A big one between Allen and Dieruff on the boys' side as well. That one just a straight takeaway, and a good job defensively by Deonna Davis. Thought about it momentarily, and then now a drive in an open lane off the window and score. And for 2 more is Collazo.
That's a great individual move right there by Kalis Collazo. Gives a little shot fake, attacks the basket, pulls up because she sees a bigger defender in front of her and lays it off the glass from 7 feet out.
Collazo's got 14. Take a look.
Here it is. She catches on the wing. Little jab step, drive. Wise comes out, and she just puts it in off the glass. Very impressive.
We approach the midway point of quarter number 3, and it's a 4-point game, much different than the first time these 2 teams met. which was all Allen by a score of 60-33.
Well, it's funny. Now we've had a few games now that have been rematches, and all 3 times it was a blowout the first time around, and all 3 times the second game has been much closer.
Collazo didn't go outside with a 3, took a step in, and then turnover. Collazo's just begging for the basketball once again. Nice feed inside, and they'll go to the free throw line. Good job of Collazo going to Davis for the 2.
One thing you can certainly say about this Dieruff team is they enjoy passing the basketball, looking for each other as teammates, and making the right basketball play, and that comes from coaching as we get a look at them pushing the ball up here, and Collazo, who's been aggressive with a nice little touch pass.
Davis misses on the free throw.
So Broyles is going to go double bigs here with Sneed and Wise both in the game. That's going to be a problem inside for Dieruff.
That's the first time I think we saw that. Both free throws missed. And off the miss again, 3 chances here for the Huskies. 1 on 2, and then shuffles of feet. Good job there by Sneed.
Sneed affected that play, and tough break for Deonna Davis right there. She's really hustling to make every play, and the ball spun out on her offensive rebound putback.
.320 on the clock, 32-28 your score. That 3 is dropping in for Maya Williams. She's got 2 threes on the day.
And that one looked good right from the release. We were directly behind her, saw the angle. She is a shooter.
Allen straight down the court. And then a shuffle of the feet across to Maya Williams. So there was a 7-point lead in this game on a couple of occasions, 13-6 and 16-9 for Dieruff. Now it's a 7-point lead for Allen at 35-28. So things are going in favor of the Canaries here on the girls' side.
A little bit of a danger zone for Coach Piston and Dieruff as we hit the end of this third quarter.
Ball's on to Maya Williams, her second. Team fourth.
So to the free throw line is Cartagena. Cartagena has 3 threes for 9 points. This is short.
One of my cardinal rules, we talked about this in one of our other broadcasts, was never to foul a 3-point shooter. Allen violated that rule, although I'm sure it's not their rule, just my rule.
Does anybody like your rule?
No, but if I would ever become the basketball czar, I would award 4 free throws for fouling a 3-point shooter. That would be my first rule.
All right, so we see that happening. I expect that to be happening soon. And you said all that, she'll make 1 of 3, excuse me. 35-29. .230 on the clock. Good job defensively by Deonna Davis.
Davis.
One thing we said, the Huskies have 3 wins all year. Allen's got 7, but the Huskies have 3 wins all year. They don't look like a 3-win team by any means.
This effort is not indicative of a 3-win team. As Coach Piston mentioned, she had some players with injuries, and Cartagena, of course, with the concussion missing games. So that's going to affect you when you're not very deep as we get a carry out front and a turnover.
See, I don't know if that was a carry. The ball popped out of her hands, and then she looked like she was almost going to maintain it and not move. I don't know if she moved afterwards.
I don't think that should have been whistled because she didn't dribble again after she did lose control of it, but then did not dribble again. So it may have been a premature whistle, but as you were saying, definitely a better effort than a 3-win team would normally give you.
No question. Inside 2 minutes, third quarter. You're watching our D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. Al DiCarlo alongside Tom Moser, Dave Micah. From the corner on a three. They get a couple efforts, they don't convert. Bodies flying everywhere and nothing called. There, it could have been a walk, and we continue on here with Davis.
We could have had a few whistles in there, and they're letting them play in this third quarter, so we'll take it.
Driving inside.
Good patience on this set, however. Allen's controlled the ball for almost a minute.
(35-29). That shot from the outside doesn't go. Ball loose. Another opportunity here for Allen. You can't let that happen. And Wise will have to earn it from the free throw line.
Yeah, too many loose balls and offensive rebounds. It's been the story of the game for Allen. Otherwise, Dieruff would likely have the lead at this point. And if they're going to want to come back in the fourth quarter, they just have to eliminate that piece.
Wise hits the first free throw. So Wise came in averaging 11 points and 9 boards a game. She got in foul trouble early in this one, but you can see the type of player she is. This is the first time, this half that we've seen them together. And, you have some size there. Sneeze at 5'11", Wise at 6 foot.
Yeah, just nobody to match up with them height-wise for Dieruff, and it's just been a major issue all game long.
Biggest lead of the game is now 8. Shuffling the feet with Sturdivant. Third turnover. (37-29) inside a minute.
Big possession here if you're Dieruff. Already trailing by 8. Allen with the possession arrow to start the fourth quarter. So if you give one up here, you're going to find yourself in big trouble. But great play by Cartagena right there.
I'm not sure who the Allen player is, but she went down pretty good. Slow getting up.
I believe it's Maya Williams, 21.
I'm not sure if her chin hit the floor. Take a look. Yeah.
At some point, her chin definitely hit the floor. I hope she's all right.
Well, she stays in the game. Coach Tamborel's talking things over to Maya Williams, but at the same time, she's dealing with her jaw right now, making sure it's still there.
Hoping she can eat that post-game meal.
Exactly right. Final 30 seconds.
So man-to-man here by Allen. Haven't seen that much in this game.
1-on-2 in the lane. Well, some way, at least she'll get to the free throw line. Not the shot you really wanted to have. Out of control a little bit, but she'll go to the free throw line. Will be Sturdivant. Sturdivant, a 5'9" junior center. She's averaging 1.8, just 1 for 9 from the free throw line. This is on the free throw.
Yeah, 1 for 9 is not going to get it done. That's always a part of your game you can improve on and work on. Every foul line is measured 15 feet. It doesn't matter what gym or playground you're at.
Second one no good, but they get the rebound straight up. That one's going to be short. Third effort here, and that one thrown not in the spot she wanted to get. Driving through the lane, changing hands, out of control. Allen had the chance, couldn't do it, and they will get the ball back here with 8 seconds left.
And Sneed created that turnover with just her stick-to-itiveness and not allowing breathing room for the Dieruff Huskies, and they will have one more shot at it with 8 seconds left.
Number 2, Alana Gomez back in for Dieruff.
37-29. Final 5 seconds. That shot will count if it goes, and it does not. 3 complete, 1 to go. 37-29. Allen leads. We'll be back after this. You're watching our D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine.
Are you searching for a place where you belong? Where your fitness matters? Regardless of what shape you're in, St. Luke's Fitness and Sports Performance Centers have a professional team that will help you meet or exceed your fitness goals. With locations throughout the region and nationally recognized fitness experts, you'll become a member of a supportive fitness community. We call it Extraordinary Fitness. Visit us online to start your free 7-day membership and let us help you thrive.
We're back, 37-29. And Tommy, your thoughts through 3?
Well, Dieruff struggled offensively in that third quarter. Didn't get a lot of good looks and didn't knock the ones down that they had. They're going to have to push the tempo, try and create some turnovers and get some offense going. On the other side of the coin, if you're Coach Broyles, you're happy. You started to impose your will a little bit with your size, your strength, and your athleticism, and now it's just a matter of staying the course here in the fourth quarter.
Scoring right now, Cartagena has 10, 14 for Collazo to lead the way. Allen, Wise has 9, and Sneed has 7, with a couple players with 6 points.
Possession arrow, Dieruff.
So really a winnable game either way here with a quarter to play.
Yeah, you lose the first game by almost 30 to this team, and now you're going to start the fourth quarter with a single-digit deficit. You will take that if you're Coach Piston. It's a matter of making plays.
That one goes off the Huskies. And it'll be Allen basketball.
But part of making plays starts, part of making plays starts with grabbing defensive rebounds, and the inability of the Huskies to do that is a major reason why they are trailing at this point by 8.
Wise made a great move to the basket. She didn't score, but a move like that is impressive.
Incredible rip-through move, just powerful drive to the hole. Did spin out, but that's going to go more often than not.
Tough place to put that ball. Almost you want to go up and see if you get fouled, if anything. You know, maybe a little bit ill-advised. So a minute in, it's 37-29. Looking for our first points of the fourth quarter, excuse me. Get Allen Dieruff boys to follow. That's set right around 3 o'clock. Could start a little bit sooner. They have senior day here. The seniors honored for the Huskies as they get the ball back. In Deonna Davis and Elena Gomez. High off the window. And going to the free throw line will be Rosa.
So that was effective for Dieruff in the first quarter when they got off to that flying start. Was really pushing the ball in transition and beating Allen down the floor. So you saw it right there. We'll get a look of the Davis controlling the rebound. She's done a nice job of that inside to her best. And an excellent outlet pass by Urena. And as a result, Rosa will shoot 2.
Rosa, her first point.
And then Amar in for Allen.
Second one is good.
Dieruff has not shot it well from the free throw line, but those 2 were key, and every one is going to be important as we hit the home stretch here.
I mentioned the Huskies have struggled. Their last win was against Pocono Mountain East back on January the 2nd. And when you only have 3 wins, This would be a huge one, but it's 37-31.
Well, if you look at their schedule, they finished their overall schedule with Lincoln leadership, and that's certainly a great chance for a win. If you could get this one and that one to close out your campaign, you're going to be feeling a lot better about yourselves, even though it was a disappointing season.
From the outside, won't go for Ellis. Ellis has struggled from behind the arc this afternoon. There's a whistle and a foul. You mentioned the tournament's going to be starting up, relatively soon in the East Penn Conference. And we talked about Stroudsburg and, looking at those teams that can make the tournament. Stroudsburg, Pocono Mountain West, Becca, Freedom, Easton, Nazareth, Northampton, Parkland, and Pleasant Valley. One of those are going to be left out of the tournament.
Well, we have one more league night date to be played on Monday, I believe.
Yes.
And we'll see where the tiebreakers lie, but you also really don't want to be in that 8 spot because that's going to earn you a quarterfinal date with Bethlehem Catholic.
Are they good?
They're decent. We saw them on D11sports.com a couple weeks ago. They're probably the favorite to win the state title, so good might be you're underselling them, Al.
Just saying. 37-32. Down underneath, off the glass, and Staggers. Tell you what, impressed with Staggers. Only a freshman. She's got the length. She's got, the position of the ball.
So Staggers served her punishment because Coach Broyles did not play her in the third quarter after picking up that technical, but she comes back in after a great first half and makes an immediate impact.
3 doesn't go. The shot in the lane won't go. And back out to Staggers. Allen will regroup. 7-point game. Critical part as we get to the 5-minute mark.
Coach Piston continuing to sit in this zone at some point might have to come out and apply a little bit more pressure. As Ellis misses another 3, but we're going to stay here and get an over the back foul on the Dieruff Huskies.
Timeout here called by Kathy Piston. Gives us an opportunity to get you ready for game number 2 and what's ahead for us here on D11sports.com. We'll have Allen and Dieruff boys coming up after this contest. And on Monday night, we'll see Northampton and Central Catholic to wrap up the regular season. And you mentioned Central Catholic boys been tremendous to this point, but as far as the girls' side, we saw Bethlehem Catholic, we saw Nazareth, we saw Allen, we saw Dieruff, we saw Parkland, and we saw Northampton, all on D11 Sports. And 4 of those teams are going to be in the tournament, and it's going to be an interesting kind of tournament. But obviously, you mentioned the favorite going in, and the favorite always all year has been Bethlehem Catholic.
Well, when you get to league playoff time, as we've seen over the last 10, 15 years, you might be the favorite, but that does not mean other teams are going to lay down for you. Certainly does not mean you're a lock to win it. And the other teams, Nazareth, Northampton, Freedom, Easton, they're going to come in loaded for bear and looking to knock off the defending champs. And Becca, certainly has earned that number 1 seed, but by no means is it going to be a free walk for them.
So 4:44 on the clock. Inside and 1. Wise.
So Coach Broyles with the excellent out-of-bounds call out of the timeout. Gets Wise in the paint, and that's just a breakdown. If you're Dieruff, you got to know where Wise is.
Dieruff's 5th. Jacayla Wise, 1 shot.
Wise.
Lane violation we had.
So Wise does not get that one.
Self-inflicted. Her foot crept over the line and was spotted by one of our 3 veteran officials.
That shot won't drop. Opportunities there, and that would be, I believe, 4. So while Wise is taking over offensively here, that is the 4th foul. She felt she just went straight up. And did a hand reach over. That's what they're saying. Oh, they didn't give her the foul. Oh, they did. Okay, I just looked up there and I'm like, well, who's the only one there?
But a great job by Collazo digging in there at 5'6" against the 6-foot Wides, giving up half a foot in height, and earned the foul, whether it was one that Wise thought she committed or not.
(41-33). Midway point, and a nice pass inside to Staggers. Boy, you're going to have to like Staggers over the next couple of years here at Allen.
Yeah, absolutely. You can tell she's only a freshman right now. She makes some mistakes, but she
Wow.
certainly knows how to play the game. And look at that one now.
No mistake there by Rosa with her 7th three-pointer. That's her 7th three-pointer of the year. Cuts it back down to 5. So we're at that stage where, hey, it's been sitting here. You've been going to 7, you've been going to 8, you're cutting down to 5, you're cutting down to 6, been going to 7, in that range. And it's, you still have 3:42, and it's how you're going to play this one.
Well, if you're Coach Piston, as we get a look at that replay of the bomb that Rosa throws in right there from well behind the line, but if you're Coach Piston, and you know what Allen has, they've had trouble closing games out this year. Coach Brohl said beforehand they've lost many, many close games, and that's what's going to ultimately keep them out of the district playoffs. But you have Allen right where you want him right now if you're Dieruff.
That said, you look at the foul situation, it's 9 against Allen. Do you go inside and try to get Wise out of the game, and how do you play Wise here? You go right at her.
Well, unfortunately for Dieruff, they really don't have a post presence
Right.
that you're going to be able to attack her with. When she picks up that 5th, it's going to be like on a freak play, a loose ball, a scramble situation. It's just going to come in the course of the game. But she's definitely going to have to be careful and can't play as aggressive as she was like to.
3:36 on the clock, 41-36 your score.
So Coach Piston staying in that zone, but the guards out front are applying a little bit of pressure as they're going to tag Wise with a travel right there.
So good opportunity here for the Huskies to battle back. Again, you get back to that score the first time they met, it was 60-33. By no means, that's a score today. Nice feed underneath, count it. 2 more for number 22, Collazo, who now has 17.
Great offense and a breakdown by Allen right there defensively, not knowing where Collazo was. She has been the go-to player today for Dieruff, and just a mental breakdown.
That one thrown away. And the foul afterwards, who'd they get? I believe they're going to give it a 10.
No, that's on
No,
Wise, and
yep.
she's gone. And she's upset, but that just comes from reaching in and being frustrated and not being able to corral the pass. And she's going to watch the last 3 minutes from the bench with her teammates.
So Collazo goes to the free throw line where now can cut into this lead and does not in the first. She's been money all afternoon. Had the 3 to start things off. She's sitting there with 17 points.
She has definitely been the player of the game for Dieruff.
Misses both. You mentioned before the 1-on-1 earlier. They missed a couple earlier. They missed 2 more here. In a game that's a 3-point game, those ones can really, really hurt.
Well, they've left a lot on the board so far, but the ones that matter are going to be coming up in the last 3 minutes. I have a feeling they're going to shoot a few more, and the W and L might come down to how many they make.
They do get the ball back, and Good job there by Staggers. Here comes Allen the other way. Allen trying to regroup here. And that shot off the mark. Ball loose. They battle for it underneath, and it's the Huskies that come up with it and take it right back. Great job by Destiny Davis. That was a huge basket for Allen.
Well,
huge.
Davis was just in the right spot at the right time, and a breakdown by Dieruff there, throwing it under your own basket. And we're going to get a turnover. And I was just going to comment on Coach Broyles going with 0 bigs as we get a look at that replay here.
I was just going to say the same thing.
Snead was so effective in the first half when Wise was on the bench, and he just brought Snead back in here for the final 2 minutes.
So 2 minutes, 10 seconds in the game, 43-38 is your score. It was 13-8 after 1 in favor of Dieruff. Now a chance off the steal. Ball gets right back to Allen. And Allen will regroup here on the offense.
Good patience right there by the Canaries, not forcing a shot, understanding the time and score and situation of the game.
So Cartagena gets tagged with the foul. Allen with the basketball with 1:50 on the clock. Tommy, a 5-point game. They're in a double bonus on one side. Next foul by Dieruff will put him in the bonus.
So if you're Dieruff right now, you're hoping that you can force Allen into a mistake. You're doing a little bit of quasi-trapping here to try and force a turnover. Almost got it right there.
Almost did.
At some point, maybe in the next 30, after we get to about the minute mark, you're going to have to foul and put Allen on the line.
Which Allen, as a team, not very successful from the free throw line. So maybe not a bad play.
Well, Coach Piston was yelling her call for foul on the floor. Now we're going to see if Shania Ellis can knock in those crucial front ends of 1-and-1s.
So Ellis has struggled all night, all afternoon. And this is the time where, you know, it sounds crazy, but where she'll probably hit both.
Well, you called it. She's a gamer, and when the chips are down is when you make your money. So does that make sense? When the chips are down is when you make your money?
I don't know. I don't know when I make it. I don't have any chips. Where are the chips? 1:23 on the clock. And she does hit both.
So a 55% free throw shooter and someone who for the day is 0 for 8 from three-point land, and she steps up and knocks in 2 as though she's been on fire. So that just tells you what she has inside. Very nice job by her.
So since Wise has exited the game, we've seen 2 turnovers on one side for Dieruff and about 3 extra rebounds for Allen. So everything that Coach Piston has not wanted to see.
Well, it really started when Wise committed her 5th and sat, and Collazo went to the line down by 3, shooting 2 with a chance to cut it to 1, and she missed both. And the ensuing minute and a half or 2 minutes has not gone the way Dieruff has wanted.
So timeout comes with 1:05 on the clock. And, you know, this one is here at the same time for Dieruff, but Allen is, you know, 1 basket away from putting it away.
Well, you have 2 1-and-1s to get through yet if you're Allen. So those were always bugaboos I felt as a coach. I'm sure other coaches do it too. You really want to get to that 10th foul into the comfort zone of the double bonus, knowing you have a second shot if you miss the first one. Those 1-and-1s are really tough to stomach. If you can get through those, make 1 out of 2 on both sets, you have to feel good about where you're at, especially the way you've been controlling the glass and knowing that you're going to just focus on Cartagena out taking away her 3-point looks.
Saw Dave Liddy, the head football coach. I had a chance to chat with him from Dieruff just a little while ago. 45-38.
So let's see what both coaches come up with out of a timeout here. Coach Broyles, you would think, is telling his girls no shots other than wide open layups. And on the other side, Coach Piston's going to have to go to a man-to-man defense in order to get some pressure and force a turnover or a mistake by the Canaries.
So here we go. We're watching our D11sports.com game of the week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. A double dip here from Dieruff High School. I want to thank Dave Stout, the athletic director here, for his hospitality. And maybe they're trying to foul. Maybe not. No. This would be the time.
Well, we wasted about 15 seconds right there. You really have two options. You come and trap and try and force a turnover, or you foul.
Right, yep.
And they just wasted a little too much time, and the time is precious right now.
So Ellis back to the free throw line. She's 4 of 4 from the line. And gets the roll.
And Coach Broyles instructing the defensive stopper, Maya Williams, to follow Cartagena, the shooter, all over the floor, which includes 90 feet from where the ball is right now.
Here's a three. That one doesn't go. Underneath. And we'll walk the floor.
So Sneed cleans that one up and will shoot the last 1-and-1 for Allen, as time is the enemy of Dieruff at this point.
Hits the free throw.
They have done a great job knocking these free throws down the stretch here. That's 5 in a row. And I put the jinx on her, but 5 out of 6, you'll take that if you're Coach Broyles. And a breakdown there as they let Cartagena open, and Coach Broyles asking his defender how that could happen. So the free throw line continuing to be a bugaboo for Dieruff as Cartagena gets a chance to score some points with the clock stopped and set up some pressure. She misses the front end and the back end.
That three does not fall. Final 25 seconds. This is the first time we're in double digits on that lead.
Yeah, and the shots just stopped falling in the second half here for Dieruff after a semi-hot start to the game, and one of the reasons why they're going to come out on a short end. But definitely a game effort, and if you're Coach Piston, you're pleased with the effort that you saw from your girls as we get one more foul with 12 seconds to go.
Her third, fourth. Dieruff's 10th. Ellis, 2 shots.
But again, as you suffer a 30-point defeat to this team the first time, and you're going to play into the fourth quarter with 3 minutes left. This was a 3-point game, so nothing to hang your heads about if you're Coach Piston and Dieruff.
Great job by Sneed.
And not a foul you really want to commit 90 feet from the basket with 6 seconds left in a 13-point game, but they are high school students and they will commit hustle fouls at times, so we'll walk the floor one more time and shoot 2 more.
Okay, if you're watching us here on Saturday afternoon, we will have the boys game. Well, that's going to frustrate you if you're on the free throw line.
Well, I believe
they're going to give it again.
We're going to redo that. It was almost like a hockey shift change there. She just ran on the floor and ran onto the lane. So a little sloppy end here to the game, but
So 2 shots. We'll do that again. I think that's the right call. Again, if the game was a 2-point game, maybe they'll have a little more issue.
I'd like to see it in a 2-point game. Can we get that?
Yeah, we can have that. No reason anymore to foul if you're Dieruff. And final 4 seconds of this one, and Allen will beat their rivals by a score of 51-39. So 51-39 is your final.
Ladies and gentlemen, the athletes and coaches.
And we'll come back right after this to wrap things off. You're watching our D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine.
Concussions are serious. 3 million sport, recreation, and auto accident-related concussions happen each year. 20% of high school athletes who play contact sports will suffer a concussion during the season. St. Luke's is the region's leader in assessing, managing, and treating concussions in athletes and non-athletes of all ages. Our multi-specialty teams of experts collaborate to care for you using the latest treatment options. Don't play head games, take concussion seriously. Call St. Luke's to schedule an appointment with one of our concussion experts.
We are back. 51-39 is the final score. As they win this one, does the Allen Canaries. We'll take you through the scoring in this one.
Go. Here with the District 11 player of the game, Jacayla Wise. Thoughts on the game?
We started off rough, but we just had to keep pushing to come out with the win.
Moment you felt that the game shifted to your momentum?
Coming towards the fourth quarter, it was a close game, so we just had to keep pushing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Jacayla Wise, our player of the game. 6 points for Ellis, 8 points for Staggers, 7 points for Davis, 2 points for Abar, 6 points for Maya Williams, 10 points for Sneed, and Wise finished 16 despite fouling out. Cartagena with 11, 5 points for Rosa, 17 points for Colazo, 2 points for Urena, and 4 points for Davis to wrap up the scoring in this one between these two teams. Your final thoughts on this one?
Well, Allen, certainly not the end of the season they wanted, going to fall short of a District 11 playoff berth, but anytime you can beat your rival twice, including on the road to finish the season, you're going to leave with a positive taste in your mouth. They didn't have a great start, as Jacayla Wise said, down there on the floor, but they certainly turned it around the last 3 quarters and finished the way they wanted to finish.
All right, 51-39. We will regroup, and second game, Allen and Dieruff will start right around 3 p.m. You've been watching our D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. Final score, once again, 51-39 in favor of Allen. Have a great afternoon for now.